Accurate forecast with Thomas Geboy. Weather rates certified 11 years in a row.
All right, winter storms moving through the state today.
Yes, for the latest on where they are and where they're headed, let's head over to Thomas Geboy. Thomas.
Yeah, just another cold front moving through. Valley rain, mountain snow, but we've even started to see a little bit of snow starting to fall in the Salt Lake Valley. So while the accumulation is not expecting to be anything significant, you might see some snow in the Salt Lake Valley as we're currently seeing some wet weather currently moving through. In the northwestern portion of the state, things are calming down just a little bit, but we will go ahead and zoom in with the storm tracker radar here, where there is a batch of showers now working its way into the eastern portion of the Salt Lake Valley, while we're still seeing some wet weather down into Utah County and in the southern portions of Tooele County. But you'll notice up towards Ogden and Logan, things have calmed down just a little bit. We're still going to hold on to the chance for wet weather across the northern half of the state as we go throughout the next several hours. So for that evening commute, just make sure that you're extra careful, as there are definitely going to be some slippery roads. And just a little while ago, Park City Mountain, it was snowing sideways, but things have calmed down just a little bit here. An absolutely beautiful view. Looks like ski season is almost ready to go, but you can tell we've seen the fresh snow just by seeing the trees and them coated with the snow, as that snow again was more or less falling sideways. But in our northern Utah mountains, we're going to hold on to the chance for additional snow through tonight. So the winter weather advisory does continue through 6 o'clock in the morning, and by the time all is said and done, by the time the snow comes to an end, we could pick up between 5 and 10 inches of snow. Some spots have already seen between that, but in the upper Cottonwood Canyons and in the high Uintas, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a little bit more than that. Once we get into the overnight hours, we'll start to see the chance for snow begin to taper in our mountains, and then by tomorrow afternoon, things look to be much calmer. But for tonight, with that cold front moving through, much colder air is also working its way in. A hard freeze warning will be going into effect at 9 o'clock tonight for the bulk of the Wasatch Front, lasting through 9 o'clock in the morning on Thursday, as overnight lows tonight could drop as low as 25 degrees. So make sure that you protect any sensitive plants, also the pipes, and make sure you bring in the pets inside as well, as it will be turning quite chilly. And with a northwesterly flow of wind and the moisture still sticking around, we'll be looking at the chance for some lake effect snow. Now, that best chance will be from the western Salt Lake Valley over into Tooele, but in the eastern portion of the Salt Lake Valley, that can't be completely ruled out earlier in the night. So past 10 o'clock through around 1 o'clock in the morning, but during the overnight hours and early mornings on Thursday, that's when the best chance will be for the western Salt Lake Valley over towards Tooele. But this could impact your early Thursday morning commute, and then we also could see some lake effect snow stretching down into Utah County, all of which is something to keep in mind going over the next 12 hours. Let's go ahead and begin the Futurecast, 7 o'clock tonight, and the Futurecast showing that the bulk of the moisture by 10 o'clock will be in the central and eastern half of the state, but that chance for lake effect will be there off the Great Salt Lake and potentially even Utah Lake as well. But as we go from late tonight into very early on Thursday, that's when that best chance will go into the western portion of the Salt Lake Valley before high pressure starts to settle in going into our Thursday afternoon, eventually leading to clearing skies through the day. And then we'll be looking at sunshine to close out the week and eventually moderating temperatures, but the temperatures will be quite chilly for tonight. And in St. George, not likely going to see the moisture, but the winds, they will start to increase, even though we're sitting at 66 degrees with the front moving through. But as that front moves through, those winds could potentially gust upwards of 55 miles per hour. Wind advisory going into effect for lower Washington County later tonight through the first half of our Thursday. And our regional forecast, definitely cold tonight in northern Utah, but even down in southern Utah, you'll feel the colder temperatures tonight as we drop to 25 in Cedar City and 40 degrees in St. George. And then in northern Utah, those daytime highs for our Thursday, 30s and 40s, while southern Utah mainly sees 40s and 50s, with St. George eventually climbing into the lower 60s. But we'll be back in the upper 60s on Friday, and then low 70s for this upcoming weekend as overnight lows moderate back into the low and mid 40s. And along the Wasatch Front, a slight chance early for our Thursday, but dropping below freezing again for Friday morning. But daytime highs will be in the upper 50s to around 60 degrees for this upcoming weekend, ahead of what could be another active pattern by the middle of